All right, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the Wanderers.
Good afternoon, footy fans. Welcome to TIO Stadium. We've got a round 10 TIO NTFL Women's Premier League match here between Southern Districts and Wanderers. Stu Davis and Heidi Thompson calling the action. Welcome, Heidi.
Welcome, Stu. Good afternoon.
Yeah, so a pretty hot one today. Probably the hottest we've had all year, but a bit of breeze, so that'll help a bit. But we've got Southern Districts and Wanderers, 4th against 6th, both on 5 wins. But we'll see if that tells the story of the day. Game's underway already. And Charlie Deegan up and over the top with the first hit out of the game, like she did all week last week. Ball spills out to the outer wing. First on the scene there is Letitia Lloyd. Couldn't pick it up cleanly, but she's still in the action. But it's Letitia Jeffrey who picks it up, gets a handball for Districts. tackle there forced the ball free, and got a few numbers around the ball and no one coming out with it cleanly. Hopefully it'll get forced out here soon, and we'll get some action underway. There's an attempted kick there, but it's smothered, and now the handball comes out the back from Wanderers, and but a mishandle there, and again no clear kick. Handball comes out this time, and it's Deegan, I think, who drives Districts forward. Mark almost taken in the forward pocket there by Mallory Nankervis, but
Pretty messy start, Stu.
was a pretty messy start, but Districts have worked the ball forward into their forward pocket, and we've got a boundary throw in. Districts kicking towards the airport end in this first quarter. Hit out comes to ground. Charlie Deegan butters up there, picks up and is tackled straight away, but a kick out of defence by Wanderers, and they've got a player in the clear here, Letitia Lloyd. She struggling to take possession out there, but does eventually, but is caught up with, and the ball forced out of bounds. An opportunity there for Wanderers to
she's
get the ball
actually
clear.
come across from Palmerston, her and her sister, and I think this is one of her first games for Wanderers in Prem. She's an under-18 player, so really handy to see her out there playing Prems. A little bit fumbly to start with, might be a little bit nervous, so we'll see if she settles in.
Yeah, so taken out of the ruck that time by Ivana Shoba, but Districts win the ball back, and attempting a bounce out wide there, didn't come back to her. Didn't pick that up. Might be Josiah Farrah's wife, who we struggled with her surname all week. Apparently we've got permission to call her Maverick Farrah this week.
That's correct, yes. Thank you, Maverick.
And umpire's seen a free kick here for a throw, and it's Districts who'll come into attack. Ball goes through the hands, nicely taken at the back, and the clearance out by Wanderers. Oh, good hands over the top there by Deanna Peckham.
Morgan Johnston here, yep, captain of Wanderers, works her way around down the wing here and into a forward entry into the 50, which is really handy for Wanderers if they can get off to a flyer here.
Yeah, Shaquem Tasache down playing forward this week, and her kick dribbles over the boundary line right next to the behind post at the Michael Long centre end. So Wanderers into attack for the first time. Still no score on the board so far. So we'll have a boundary throw in.
You can see Districts have a couple of fly-ins from Alice Springs. Last week didn't make it, but we've got Sam Hugenbein-Hill and Ebony Miller as well out there today for Districts.
Apparently the plane was cancelled.
That's right, yeah, unfortunate.
Makes it hard to get here. So we're just going to have another attempt at that boundary throw in by the looks of things. Taken out of the ruck there by Charlie Deegan. She hand passes forward, gets the ball back now, hand passes forward again. The ball's rushed over the boundary line, out on the half forward flank for Wanderers. So a couple of changes. Of course, Taylor Thorne out for Districts this week.
That's
probably
right.
best on ground last week, I would have thought.
Yeah, I think hands down she's on her way to the Gold Coast with Jazz Hewitt, which means that I think a few handy ins from Alice Springs coming in and a couple of under 18-year-olds coming into play as well for Districts.
So the ball spills out from the pack there. Hand pass comes across, and Wanderers the chance to go inside 50 again, this time by Buffy Angel. First gamer, I think, Heidi, is that right?
That's correct, yep, on debut.
But it's Districts bringing it away now through their captain in Letitia Jeffrey. Goes over the head of her teammate Maverick Farrah, but she's tackled and caught holding the ball, so...
Letitia Lloyd.
Yeah, good strong tackle there.
One of the under 18 players I was referring to earlier, so really good to see her getting in amongst it.
She kicks towards centre half forward now. Mark not taken, and cleaned up there by Bella Clark. He chips it just inside the centre 50. But comes out towards this grandstand wing now, where contest between two, and well done in there by Tashara Davin, who got the hand pass out. But, it's Districts who have the chance. Stacey Carkeek there.
Tashara again here with a kick in. Charlie Deegan might chop it off, but Tashara played a couple of games for Thunder this year, and great to see her out there in the midfield, really working on her fitness and seeing plenty of the football already.
Terrific mark there by Mallory Nankervis below the knees, and plays on and finds Charlie Deegan, who drives Districts inside forward 50, and a strong mark there by Ebony Miller. Plays on straight away with a hand pass, and a kick inside by Kiara Corpus. But that's gone out of bounds.
Might have been best to go herself there. She's the leading goal kicker of the competition, Ebony Miller, so it might have been an opportunity to have another crack at goals.
Some strong work, tried to bring her teammate into play, but anyway, we've got a boundary throw in here, and a chance for Districts. Miller takes it out of the ruck, gets a hand pass to no one in particular. Some strong work over the ball from both teams, and it's dragged back in there by the Districts player, but eventually forces it out. Charlie Deegan picks it up out the back of the pack, hand passes across looking for Jeffrey. She managed to get a hand pass across here, and it's India Kinner.
Yeah, another under 18 on debut today in the Prems, and that's why they're all going pretty crazy for her there with her first goal. Really exciting.
Excellent finish there. And just picked the ball up cleanly and backed herself and ran towards goal and kicked it through. So it's a terrific piece of play.
She actually does a fair bit of martial arts, Indy, so she's very fit, very athletic, and pretty cool to see her make her debut and then kick a goal in the first quarter.
Yeah. So first score on the board to Southern Districts at the 7-minute mark of the first quarter. Wanderers had it forward, had some opportunities, but weren't able to score. So we're back in the centre now. Ball up, it's Charlie Deegan who wins that hit out again. And Curvis in there couldn't take possession, and the ball forces its way to Wanderers centre half forward area, but it's Districts again who mop up across half back. Stacey Carkeek there first in line, gets the hand pass across to a teammate who was Charlie Deegan, tackled as she took the ball and got the hand pass forward. And now it's Deegan again who picks up and hand passes it across where a teammate picks up, but he's tackled straight away, and ball's dragging underneath, but spills free eventually, and Lucy Motlock gets a kick forward for Wanderers. And but it's District's pretty
Sam
strong.
Hugenveen Hill again, getting the kick out, but Wanderers seem to have a lot of numbers back there. They seem to be flooding their defensive line. Hopefully we've got a few forward here they can kick to.
So Deanna Peckham there kicks it forward to Morgan Johnston, takes it on the bounce, wheels around and kicks inside 50 for Wanderers. Oh, strong mark taken down there. I think she was trying to spoil it away, but it fell into her hands, and Samantha Hugenveen Hill takes the mark at centre half back for Districts. She drives it out to this grandstand wing where good hands overhead, and the mark's taken by Michaela Dershaw. Continues it along this wing where Malboy chips in, couldn't take the mark, but the ball comes back to her now. Hand passes forward. The ball's tapped out there by the Districts player, and Talia Holtz gets a kick forward for Districts. Ball comes to ground. Bit scrambly there, but now Wanderers with the chance to bring it out. Good hand pass across here to Malboy. Malboy drives Wanderers forward again, but pretty obvious push in the back there, and Bella Clark will take the free kick.
Love to see you go back in through the guts here, through the corridor.
Well, she's got some numbers there, but she's got a 50-metre penalty, so...
Good to see Soph Malboy back in Women's Premier League. I think Morgan Johnston probably has missed her through the midfield at Wanderers, and yeah, clearly she's in there winning the ball today.
So... Bella Clark now with the advantage of that 50, drives Districts forward, comes over the back, a good hand pass back inside. Ebony Miller hand passes back again, and here's the chance for District's second goal, and it's Holly Engelhart there who was on the end of it. Some good work by Maylee Clark, who couple of hand passes and got the ball back and kicked the ball towards the goal square.
Unselfish play from Ebony Miller there, just giving the hands off and then kicking forward to advantage.
Yep. And as I said, Maylee Clark was on the end of it, and Coolhead took possession and kicked the goal from a couple of metres out. So Districts with the early running, a couple of goals, and said from the top, they're both on 5 wins, but there's probably a little bit of a story to that, Heidi.
Yeah, that's right. First game. Actually, was it first game?
Second game.
Second game, I think it was. I think you're right, yep. Where Wanderers actually were beaten quite convincingly by Districts, and unfortunately Districts had 1 extra player, so that meant that the points went to Wanderers. So a bit of a grudge match here and a chance for redemption for Districts.
So hand pass over the head there. Pretty fancy work by Letitia Lloyd, but it's Districts going forward. And good work down there, and the ball comes in long to a 1-on-1 in the goal square. Well done back there by the Wanderers defender, Georgia Bilius. Took possession, kicked out wide, but it's gone out of bounds. And because of that, it'll be a free kick to Districts. None of the Districts players are aware of that.
No, it shouldn't be in the 50. Just in between the arcs, I believe. So it should be a ball, a boundary throw-in.
Maybe the umpire's played deliberate.
Maybe, yep.
And so we'll get someone across to take the kick now. Looks like Holly Engelhart will pick it up out there and take the free kick from about 40 out. She chips it inside, looking for Ed Miller, but couldn't take the mark. She picks it up now. Hand pass across to Deegan. Deegan hand passes inside. The ball's fumbled there by Emma Forsyth, but she's low contact there across the legs, so she'll take the free kick. She'll be looking for options going inside 50 now. 3
free players at the top of the 50 here for Southern Districts.
But she chose to go in deep into the forward pocket instead, but she's in there again, battling for this ball on the ground. And good work there, but the kick was smothered, and it's Wanderers now with the opportunity to come out of defence. Goes through the hands there, but it's terrific work there.
3-on-1, Letitia Lloyd is one out into Morgan Johnson, who does a bit of pirouetting.
Lovely hand pass across here to Lucy Motlop. She kicks forward.
It's another under 18 player, Grace Mulvihill, with the footy right now, coming out of defence.
And bit of a seesaw between half-back areas at the moment, and again it's bounce didn't favour Wanderers player Bilius there, and she's back in now with the chance to butter up and kicks long out of defence.
Yeah, just missing their targets currently, Stu. If they just slow things down and lower their eyes, and hopefully they're going to hit up a target here and potentially Charlie Deegan.
And then Curvis was who got that kick across there, and Dakota Lafini kicks forward, but it's chopped off across half back. And good strong overhead mark by Morgan Johnston down here. And Wanderers have the opportunity. She's looking down the line, got a couple of players. Sophia Malboy down there picks it up off the ground, back to Morgan Johnston, who drives the ball along the wing again. Nice pick up, but tackled as she tried to kick, and umpire said incorrect disposal, so Districts take the free kick through Megan Crawford across towards the centre of the ground. Ball's held in by Buffy Angel down there for Wanderers, and we'll have a ball up. So 14 and a half minutes gone this first quarter, 2 goals to no score. Charlie Deegan over the top again with the tap straight down the ground, but quick kick comes out from Wanderers over the head of her teammate there, Sophia Malboy, couldn't take the mark. And now it's Crawford who gets the hand pass forward for Districts. Picked up there by Letitia Lloyd, getting a few touches early.
Into space here with Sam Hugenben-Hill.
Yeah, she does well to pick the ball up cleanly and wheel around and drive Districts forward again. Morgan Johnston there chops it off, but she's tackled, gets a hand pass away, and Wanderers have some numbers there if they can pick the ball up and get it out, but some strong work over the ball there by Districts, and no clean possession taken.
I think just the lack of structure as well. You can see it. You could throw a blanket over about 20-odd players in there. So they just need to hold their structure a little bit more and the game will open up.
And it does now with Tashara Davin driving Wanderers forward. And comes back in here by Districts to half forward. And pass comes out, but the umpire says that's a throw. Just as Districts were about to break forward, and Wanderers will take the free kick through Ivana Shoba. She drives out towards the wing, but again the kicks doesn't find a teammate.
Laura Niven intercepted that one. Just seems like they're really rushed at the moment, Wanderers. They just need to slow it down and hit some targets up or look for runners coming through.
So Davin again with a quick kick out, but Charlie Deegan chops this one off, picks the ball up and drives Districts forward again, looking there for Miller. The ball spills over the back, but Miller's the first to recover, picked up and was tackled. She's in there again, gets a hand pass out, some good work there. And snapshot at goal is out of bounds on the full.
And that was created through Ebony Miller, just bringing in all those defenders into a 3-on-1 and getting onto her hands and knees and being able to dish it out.
So that's the end of the first quarter. Not too much scoring, just the 2 goals to Southern Districts, and I think they've probably had the better of the play. They've certainly been very strong across half-back and repelled anything that Wanderers have tried to take forward.
Yeah, I don't think Tarman will be too happy with the structure that they've put in place. It seems very, very much like they're playing a bit like Wanderers at the moment, really rushed and not taking their time and not hitting their targets, so he'll want to fix that up for the second quarter.
So 2 goals to no score at quarter time here at TIO Stadium.
So here's everything you need to know about the Great Air Race in 30 seconds or less. 100 years ago, there was a race from London to Darwin by aeroplane. And mates, this was only 20 years after the first aeroplane flew just 37 metres. The winning plane, a Vickers Vimy, was flown by Australian brothers Ross and Keith Smith and their mechanics Wally Shires and Jim Bennett. This was the birth of international air travel, and they landed in Parap. There's a park there now. Some people reckon their flight was almost as significant as the Apollo missions 50 years later. Some of the places they landed had never even seen an aeroplane before. This year, a guy called Michael Smith, who isn't related to the other Smiths, is retracing the exact flight 100 years on. The Great Air Race. What a great territory story. Yeah, I know, it was longer than 30 seconds. There's just too much to fit in.
We're here for when the heavens open and the winds howl. We're here for when the water just won't stop. We're here for the wet, and we're here for the dry. We're here because we know there's nowhere else you'd rather be.
And there's nowhere else we'd rather be either. TIO Home Insurance. We're for Territorians.
So we can feel forever, yeah, feel together, real together. No one can stop. No one can stop. Nothing can ever bring me down.
Mother Nature can be frighteningly predictable in the Territory this time of year. Heavy rains and damaging winds can cause significant problems and disruption, particularly if you're unprepared, while downed power lines and flash flooding can be lethal. To ensure you're ready, visit powerwater.com.au/safety or text SAFETY to 0428 323 991 for more information. Because staying safe and ready around Mother Nature should be second nature.
CFS Schoolwear is the perfect choice for quality custom-made school uniforms. Ideal clothing for all school-related activities, whether it's 50 or 500 students, we have what you need. Contact the Cricket and Football Shop NT for your free CFS Schoolwear quote today.
Let's see. Roma, Verona?
Perhaps Barcelona.
Make your dream holiday a reality. Book your next getaway at Flight Centre with interest-free holidays and flexible repayment options.
Best in the air.
And everywhere.
Flight Centre.
Intersport, new concept store now open in Casuarina Square. Come in and check out a world-class shopping experience.
Dedicated sports zones,
Now stocking only the biggest brands in tennis, cricket, fitness from treadmills to benches, boxing, swimming, darts, pool and table tennis. For awesome service and advice, still locally owned and operated, the all-new Intersport Concept Store. Now open at Casuarina Square.
You are one of almost 140,000 people living in an area at risk of being affected by a cyclone this wet season. In your cyclone kit, you will need a battery-operated radio and torch with spare batteries, enough food and at least 10 litres of water per person to sustain you and your family for 72 hours or more. Remember, all important documentation such as passports, photos and insurance policies should be kept in a safe and waterproof place. Be prepared this wet season. Brought to you by TIO.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium. It's quarter time here in this round 10 TIO NTFL Women's Premier League match. It's a pretty scrappy start, Heidi, unfortunately, but still only a couple of goals the difference, and Wanderers look like they'll be kicking with the advantage of what breeze there is. So
yeah, lots of congestion around the ball, which, looking at Wanderers' setup, maybe that's something that they want to actually achieve a bit more numbers around the footy rather than allowing the spread with Dave Tottenham at the helm there at Wanderers. Maybe that was a game plan of theirs. We'll see if it pans out in the second quarter.
Yeah, so I see that Morgan Johnson looks like she's gone forward for Wanderers to start this quarter, and Sophia Malboy starting in the middle. So if they can clear the ball out of the centre, they've got an opportunity to get some talent around the ball going forward.
Yeah, they definitely needed to make some changes. They need to have some targets up front.
So start of the second quarter here, Charlie Deegan wins this hit out. Wanderers first to the ball on the ground, but now it's Districts in there, but Wanderers have the opportunity to come forward. It's Malboy there who kicks forward out towards the half-forward flank for Wanderers on the grandstand side, but Districts too strong in defence, and Brooke Hayne gets that kick forward. Good hand pass forward by Clark, and
Indy Kinner again, just unfortunately kicking into a Wanderers player there.
Now Michaela Dershaw gets the kick forward for Districts, but Wanderers seem to have some numbers there, and they can't take possession now. It's Districts who break out of that pack, and
Grace
a kick
Mulvihill,
towards goal.
what a goal.
Fantastic finish.
Really good work from Sam Hugenbein-Hill there, just to draw all those defenders in and create a 2-on-1, almost a 3-on-1, and then handball over the top to Grace running through.
So looks like Hugenbein-Hill's been moved forward out of defence, where she was pretty solid across half back all through the first quarter, but she's looks like she's starting out of the goal square now. And
yeah, generally she would play in the forward line, so I think they probably put her back there with no Taylor Thorne and maybe missing a couple of their key defenders. I know Letitia Jeffrey was playing up front as well, so now I think they've made a swap. Worked out well.
Looks like Ebony Miller's gone into the middle for Districts. So Deegan up high gets that hit out to Miller, in fact, who hand pass looking for a teammate, but it was chopped off. The ball's hit the ground.
Kayla Motlop doing some really good work there at ground level. Bella Clark gets the kick in, and Tisha Lloyd again. Fair piece of the footy for under 18 player who hasn't played a lot of Prem's football.
Numbers with Districts here as the ball comes to ground. Hand pass comes out from Holtz, finds Bella Clark, and she drives Districts forward again, goes over the head of the main pack there, and it's Wanderers tidying up at the back. Picked up there by Davin, turns and kicks the ball high into the centre square. And ball's on the ground. Players fighting for possession. Some pretty strong work in there by Ebony Miller, but that was matched on the ground by Huariwa. So it's a ball up just inside the centre square, District's attacking end.
Yeah, they just need to play a bit more defensively, Wanderers, in that stoppage, knowing that Charlie Deegan's probably going to win the ruck tap.
But managed to take the mark across half-back and drive the ball out now towards the centre wing here. And, ball's dragged in on the ground, but umpire comes in and says that's a high tackle. And Shania Henderson drives them forward. Morgan Johnson on the end of this picks up, runs forward, kicks towards half forward. Ball bounced off the ground and off the legs of the District's player, but the boundary umpire says I'm going to throw it in, so perhaps a bit fortunate there for the District's player. And we'll have a boundary throw in. Boundary umpire puts his whistle on the ground. It's interesting. And throws the ball in. Free kick's been found here. And
Isha Bush looking to hit up someone in the forward line. But Sophia Mauboy making a nice lead.
She ignores most of those and drives long towards the goal square instead. It's a good kick, got some good purchase on it, but no mark taken. Struggling for the ball on the ground, it spills out the back and over the behind line. So
this is where we need to see Wanderers really manning up. Letitia Jeffries free here, and it's actually going to be chopped off. So that's handy.
Maria Bilius there took the intercept mark and now drives towards the goal square. Oh, mark's almost taken. Morgan Johnson off the ground with some clever work.
She'll love that as a key defender. Probably doesn't have too much time in the forward line, so well done, Morgs. Yeah. She's actually off to Melbourne, Morgan. I asked her whether it was okay if I could mention it, but she will be playing VFL with Collingwood Football Club, which is really exciting for her.
Fantastic.
She'll be off at the end of January. And, just waiting on, I think, for her sister to give birth, and then she'll be heading down south. So good luck, Morgan, for 2020.
Yeah, that's terrific. So a quality player, obviously, and she's been pretty prominent so far in this game and worked hard to get to the fall of the ball there and in the right place and kicked it off the ground through for Wanderers' first goal. So they've had a couple of attacking moves and after their first minor score, an intercept mark out there by Bilius and by Maria Bilius, and so Wanderers back in the game. 18 points to 7 as this ball's thrown up. Deegan again won every hit out, I think, and it's Farah going forward for Districts, drives it inside half forward. Hugavine Hill picks up, turns, kicks long towards goal. It's bouncing towards goal, but just off to the right-hand side, and a minor score for Districts. So it's
looking more familiar there in the forward line, Sam, just running off a nice lead and coming through and wheeling around and having a kick. Unfortunately, just roll through for a point.
Yeah, some pretty clean work by Districts as out of the centre and through.
It's interesting, this rule here, because when you kick out of the square or when you run out of the square and then kick, you've got to wait for the umpire to say play on. So I'd say Indy Kinner, being an under-18 player, hasn't waited for that call, unfortunately given away the 50.
And kick comes out to the grandstand side where Ivana Shoba drives Wanderers further forward. Bella Clark took possession, tackled, but holding the ball there, and it's Morgan Johnston. So Wanderers got a bit of energy about him at the moment after that first goal, and kick comes out here, and a
really
nice
strong kick to Deisha Bush. Here, if she can get it into the forward 50, she'll get, like you said before, Stu, some nice purchase on the footy.
Yeah, and she does eventually after messing up a bounce, but the ball was overrun down there, unfortunately, for Wanderers. And now it's a bit of a scramble for it in close.
Lock it in there and create a stoppage would have been a win for Wanderers there.
Got the chance again. Morgan Johnson doesn't take possession this time, but Bella Clark with some strong work, looking for a teammate out the back, Charlie Deegan. She couldn't take the ball. Hacked off the ground there, and Wanderers got the chance. Goes in towards the behind post. Talia Holtz down there picks up, shrugs the tackle, and drives it out here to Farah, who marks at half back. Plays on with a hand pass to Charlie Deegan. She's tackled as she tries to hand pass forward. Play on's the call. The ball scrambles back towards the 50-metre arc. Wanderers at first onto it, but
Farah really fighting hard for the footy there.
and Shania Henderson gets a quick kick forward for Wanderers, but it's picked up across half back by Emma Forsyth, but she was beautifully tackled there by Chantel Vivi, and Chantel will take the kick from about 40 out directly in front.
Well, they've come out firing in the second quarter, Stu.
They have. They look pretty good and look like they've got a bit of energy about them, as I said before, but that one was chopped off down there by Brooke Hayne, and kick goes out wide. Couldn't find the teammate, and goes over the boundary line at half back. So game's picked up a bit in this second quarter. We had some pretty clean movement by Districts going forward, and Wanderers have had a fair bit of possession. So
I think both coaches, well, probably Dave for Wanderers, Dave Totham would be pretty happy with how his girls are going currently.
So Ebony Miller got that hit out, thumped it forward to District's advantage, but
should be last touch.
So,
no.
Umpire's calling for a throw-in. So it's a bit of a lottery which way they're going to go on those when they go over the boundary line.
They're all new rules, so we'll give a bit of leniency there to the umpires.
Maybe it was in dispute who it came off last.
That's right, yeah.
Throw-in's pretty flat, and
They'll redo that one. Yeah.
Come back again. So Ivana Schober in the ruck here for Wanderers up against Charlie Deegan, who's been pretty dominant in the ruck contests, certainly in the centre of the ground all day.
Yeah, I think now with Jazzy Hewitt gone from the competition, she's probably the #1 ruck for Women's Premier League.
So Morgan Johnson takes that one off the hit out, drives it forward, but strong mark across half back.
Brooke Hayne again.
Yeah.
Another under-18 player coming through the ranks, playing Women's Premier League. Very impressive. Morgan Johnston
she's
taking
made some ground there to get
a number
across.
of marks and finally hitting up a target. Unfortunately spilled in front, but hopefully they can get it out. It's going to be called high, and they turn quickly here. Tashara Davin's on.
It's Hua Hariwa with the free kick at centre half forward there, just inside the centre square actually, so still a bit of distance to go. She drives straight down the ground, ball spills over the back. Districts are first there through Crawford. She can't take it cleanly, but it's picked up nicely there and driven forward, and Bella Clark takes a good stretching mark, plays on,
Got a
bounces.
bit of real estate there to run.
Drives the ball long. It looks like it's going to be chopped off here by Wanderers. Picks the ball up, but it's tackled. It spills out in the tackle. And some more strong work at Sam Hugavine Hill for
Just
Districts.
kicking the space here. Grace Mulvihill trying to mow it down.
Selena Lloyd chasing her out wide
Sam's
there.
coming in for support. Might get the hands here and have a crack at goal.
Kick comes in towards goal. Oh, the bounce didn't help her there, and
That's
just
two
checked.
dodgy bounces for Sam.
Check through for a minor score. Looked like a chance for a long time. So it's Georgia Halkitis who brings it in for Wanderers. And here we're Letitia Lloyd again on the end of it, but she's tackled, and Ebony Miller drives Districts back in. Ball comes over the back where Sam Hugavine Hill takes it, gets a quick kick, and her teammate kicks off the ground for another goal to Districts.
It's a goal assist, Sam. It's a goal assist. That's okay.
And that was Michaela Dershau who was on the end of that and kicked the goal from inside the goal square. But on the end of some good work by Sam Hugavine Hill, who's been prominent forward in this second quarter.
She sure has. Definitely looking a lot more familiar in the forward line. I like it how Districts clear out. They clear that space in the forward line, and then they're able to capitalise by kicking to grass and running onto it. Got the Wanderers group in the middle here just having a quick chat. I like that. Soph Mauboy leading the charge with Kayla Motlop in there.
So yeah, Ivana Schober in the ruck. Charlie Deegan still in there. She's been jumping over the top of her opponents most of the day.
Hopefully going to be playing a little bit more defensively in here, and looks like Kaylee's in a really good position.
Deegan again on the end of this, drives Districts forward, and Mark's taken inside there by Grace Mulvihill. She plays on straight away, looking for Ebony Miller, who marks overhead, plays on at the top of the goal square.
And adds another goal to her tally count.
So, the leading goal kicker in the league, but it was good play by Districts in the build-up. They were clean with the ball, held their marks, and found teammates, and in the end, the skill and strength of Ebony Miller was able to get another goal on the board for Districts.
Yeah, this is a bit more how Districts want to control the football, especially out of the middle. Even though Kayla Motlop got the hands, we had Charlie Deegan out the back ready to pounce, and then hitting up Grace Mulvihill, and Ebony Miller did the rest.
So Districts with their third goal for the quarter stretch that lead a bit. And the Shoba there was strong in the body against Deegan. Don't know if she had eyes on the ball really, but Wanderers get the clearance out here, comes out towards the boundary line, and kicked off the ground there by Bush. Inside forward 50 for Wanderers. And that's a one-handed hand pass. It's allowed to let go.
I didn't see it.
And now Wanderers have the chance to drive in towards goal. I don't know if that's come off hands, but it's going to dribble through. If it hasn't, I think it has. Yeah, it looks like Crawford just got a hand
That
to
would have
that.
been a really exciting goal there.
Yeah.
Unlucky.
That kick from Lucy Motlop going forward, but just off the hands of Crawford, and through for a minus score. So Districts to reset and bring it in from full-back. Kick comes down towards half-back. Contest in the air, and Letitia Jeffrey got something of a kick forward, but
Jeffrey's been playing in every position. She's played in the midfield, she's played forward. Last week was playing down back.
So it's Hua Hariwa for Wanderers with the free kick. Drives them forward inside, deep inside 50. And ball's on the ground. Picked up, no clean hand pass.
Brooke Kane, defensive pressure again, out to Charlie Deegan.
Yeah, some good work back there by
Kicks it into
Districts.
Miller.
Just slips over the back now, and he tried to take the player on there and got tackled, but Miller with strength picks the ball up cleanly, hacks it forward, and it's a one-on-one here.
Foot race is on.
It's Hugavine Hill, but she's overtaken in the
keep
run
her
to the
feet
ball
here.
by Georgia Bilius, but gets some support now. Picked up there by Kiara Corpus, but she was tackled well.
Impressive work there from Wanderers.
Yeah.
With a one-on-one, I probably would have backed Sam to be able to pick up the ball there, but yeah, a fair bit of pace there.
Georgia Bilius did really well, and it was her with the one-on-one with Sam, and then came in and tackled the assisting player to win the free kick, but unfortunately her kick's been turned over. Mulvihill chips it back in towards the
Working some
corridor.
really good synergy there between Grace Mulvihill and Ebony Miller. That was the last goal, was the link up between those two players.
Yep.
Letitia Jeffrey just gets over to her then and says, well done.
Yeah, so some good disposal, hitting her targets, and
Not blazing away like they did in the first quarter.
Miller the chance now. Kicks from directly in front. Looks like it's going to sneak over the goal line, is it? Yes, it is.
Sure is.
So 2 in a row to Ebony Miller, and after it looked like Wanderers had the energy and were in the game.
Yeah, it doesn't take much for that momentum to swing back around,
Yeah.
and Districts start to find a bit of form.
Looks
Yeah,
like
well, there's a bit of a conference with the umpires.
So central umpire and boundary umpires in, but in the end, goal umpires won the argument, and the goal stands. So yeah, so fourth goal of the quarter for Districts. They're 6-2-38, leading Wanderers 1-2-8 in the dying moments of this second quarter at TIO Stadium. But game's opened up a bit in this second quarter, and the
Yeah, a bit of promise there
quality's
from
improved.
Wanderers. They should be going in at half-time feeling really confident to come out at three-quarter time with a bit of run in their legs and feel like they understand the game a little bit more and how Districts want to play.
So Deegan again, strong in the ruck with a hit out, but couldn't find a teammate. The ball's on the ground, and we'll have a restart.
Looks like Bella Clark's playing a different role this week, being in the midfield. One of our under-18 captains this year at in our academy when we played in the national championships.
So high tackle there, and Maria Bilius will take the free kick for Wanderers. She comes out wide, the ball, gives the ball a fair bit of height, and Bella Clark gets the opportunity to come in and punch it forward, picks it up on the rebound.
She's had a couple of goes on her left, and I'm really excited with that.
And it's Miller again. It drives it long into the forward line, bouncing towards the goal line, but it's off to the right. So
just needed to pop up there.
Yeah, her teammate Kiara Corpus was right there, but it just kept dribbling away from her, and 3 for a minor score. So Wanderers now coming out of defence. Morgan Johnston's going to be first there, but ball slips behind her, and on the ground now, picked up, and the hand pass comes inboard. Corpus again back out to Deegan. Deegan around the corner. Teammate let it go over her head, but it's
was your chance, Grace.
Target.
It's unselfish.
Target, and 3 for another minor score. So yeah, obviously not quite aware of where the goals were as the ball came in. So kicking to the outer side this time, and I think that may have even gone out of bounds without
a touch.
But for throw in, and the siren's
beats
gone
us anyway.
So a bit more entertaining the second quarter. Some good passages of play, and Wanderers when they were going forward early and had control of the ball, looked like they certainly weren't out of the game.
Yeah, they're definitely finding their feet a little bit more and settling into the game. I think Sophia Mauboy really controlling the middle of the ground, and having Morgan Johnston up front as a target and a bit of a leader to direct traffic. Worked pretty well at the start of that quarter, but Districts certainly made it count towards the end of that quarter.
Yeah, their skills started to shine through in the end, and they kicked the last 3 goals of the quarter. So at half-time at TIO Stadium, it's Southern District 6-4-40, leading Wanderers 1-2-8.
So here's everything you need to know about the Great Air Race in 30 seconds or less. 100 years ago, there was a race from London to Darwin by aeroplane. And mates, this was only 20 years after the first aeroplane flew just 37 metres. The winning plane, a Vickers Vimy, was flown by Australian brothers Ross and Keith Smith and their mechanics Wally Shires and Jim Bennett. This was the birth of international air travel, and they landed in Parap. There's a park there now. Some people reckon their flight was almost as significant as the Apollo missions 50 years later. Some of the places they landed had never even seen an aeroplane before. This year, a guy called Michael Smith, who isn't related to the other Smiths, is retracing the exact flight 100 years on. The Great Air Race. What a great territory story. Yeah, I know, it was longer than 30 seconds. There's just too much to fit in.
We're here for when the heavens open and the winds howl. We're here for when the water just won't stop. We're here for the wet, and we're here for the dry. We're here because we know there's nowhere else you'd rather be.
And there's nowhere else we'd rather be either. TIO Home Insurance. We're for Territorians.
Hi, I'm Michael Smith, captain of Southern Sun, and we're retracing the 1919 Smith Brothers flight from London through to Darwin, the first time a plane ever arrived, and also brought with it the first airmail. An incredible, important journey that I'm really proud to have been retracing. I've spent 3 weeks. I will have gone to 20 countries by the time I get to Darwin. It's almost as hot here. I'm kind of preparing for the Darwin heat, being a Melbourne boy. But I've been following this magazine. This National Geographic magazine is 100 years old, and it tells the story and has the photos from the trip they did. And I've been going to each of the same places and trying to take the same photos. It's been wonderful seeing these places, and interesting to observe how the world has and hasn't changed in 100 years. People are still warm and helpful, and no matter where I go, people want to know more about the story and help. But things that have changed, there's a lot more paperwork today than they dealt with, but we have better runways. They were often landing in paddocks. It's only a couple of days to go. I can't wait to get to Darwin. 3:45 p.m. on Tuesday the 10th. I'll see you there.
Absolutely zero.
Zero.
Yeah, definitely.
It has to be zero.
Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I don't think that's asking too much.
kilonewton centrifugal force, infrared remote control.
How does he do it?
24.5 kilowatt diesel motor.
He doesn't just know how to operate every piece of Kennard's hire gear we get in, but also its service details, its safety checks. I don't know.
It's as if he can hypnotise each piece.
Give me 2 passes with sauce, coffee white with 1 bun with icing, no pink icing.
Yep, no worries, Terry.
Kellogg's make your job easy.
Time to escape, cause I'm in need of warmer weather. Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm going far and wide. Ooh.
Great Northern Brewing Co., the beer from up here.
Boys, we've got a real big problem. It belongs to you, it belongs to me, it belongs to everybody. I'm talking about family violence. It's time we said no more to family violence, isn't it? Yeah. Think about it.
We've all got to say no more to family violence.
No more!
Family violence is a community problem and it needs a community response from all of us, and sport is a big part of that. But we can all do our bit by being more respectful to each other. Please make this year the year we say no more to family violence.
Looking for the best and brightest to join your team? At Quality People, we specialise in finding quality, hard-to-get professionals, and we have an office right here in Darwin. Kick your recruitment goals with Quality People. qualitypeople.com.au.
Now that's quality.
You are one of almost 140,000 people living in an area at risk of being affected by a cyclone this wet season. In your cyclone kit, you will need a battery-operated radio and torch with spare batteries, enough food and at least 10 litres of water per person to sustain you and your family for 72 hours or more. Remember, all important documentation such as passports, photos and insurance policies should be kept in a safe and waterproof place. Be prepared this wet season. Brought to you by TIO.
On Territory roads, anything can happen, so you need to drive to the conditions. Speeding can get you into all sorts of trouble. Dirt roads aren't just dusty. When it's hard to see, they're dangerous. At water crossings, remember, you're driving a motor car, not a boat. High water can be deep trouble.
The NTFL clubs and umpires would like to share the following events and messages and thank their sponsors.
Getting my hands on the footy and just being with my mates.
I like being outdoors. It just makes me happy. I don't like it when I get yelled at.
It's pretty embarrassing when someone's shouting at you halfway through the game.
It makes me feel like I'm useless and I can't do anything.
We're just kids.
We're just here to have fun.
Let us do what we love.
Just let kids be kids.
You go home and get your scannies, I'll go home and get my panties, and away we'll go. Oh, shuffle up the buffalo, shuffle up the buffalo. Oh.
Wedding or birthdays coming up? Maybe a get-together with friends and family. Waratah Clubhouse at Gardens Oval is the perfect venue for your next community function. Celebrate in the home to one of Darwin's iconic football clubs, Waratah Clubhouse.
Students from Mindarie School in Central Australia and Niu Community Daly River travel to Darwin to participate in the Michael Long Learning Leadership Centre Employment Pathways program. Here's a rundown of what they got up to.
We spent the afternoon learning from rangers who are leaders in our community who look after our country. On our second day, we explored employment pathway at CDU. At CDU, we learned about careers in health and learned new skills on how to care for sick patients. On Thursday, we will be participating in work experience at AFLNT. Today, we prepared for this by writing a CV and cover letters. We experienced an interview and had to explain why we wanted the job.
We got up so early today to go to Northforce. We did fitness training, learned about jobs in Northforce, and got to view lots of equipment.
In the afternoon, we visited Aboriginal broadcasting. Some of us got to go on radio, others made TV commercials.
Today we got to work at the AFLNTs. The choices were reception, media, maintenance and game development. And one group had the chance to work with Karen Sheldon Catering.
We are learning about tourism and hospitality at school. This morning we saw all the jobs available in a hotel and visited Crocodile's Cove. The crocodiles were awesome and they were heaps of people with cool jobs here too.
The thing I liked most about this week was everything.
Teaching other kids. The Crocodile's Cove catering.
Game development because we went to Marara and teach the kids how to play footy.
Training. I like playing games with the kids and teaching them things. Going to Northforce and looking at their cool equipments.
For more information, please visit the relevant club or umpire's Facebook page.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium. Just about to start the third quarter of this round 10 NTFL Women's Premier League match. So the shadow's starting to come across the ground. Might give the players a bit of relief, Heidi, but certainly better this time of day than 1 and 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, it's been pretty hot and muggy today.
So about to get underway. And some interesting tactics from the Wanderers ruck player. Seems to be targeting the body, but anyway, it's not worrying Charlie Deegan too much. She's in the action again. And pass across, the kick comes forward, and a strong mark by Mallory Nankervis, half forward. Drives Districts forward again. Ed Miller going back with the flight of the ball. A very good overhead mark there.
Courageous mark.
Under a lot of pressure. And she'll go back. She got this distance in her, Heidi.
This might be right on her distance, I think. I don't think she'll be looking for a target. She'll be going for the big sticks.
Kick's on its way now. It's going to be around about the goal line, but just falls short and off hands. Bounces through for the first score of the third quarter, which is behind to Southern Districts. They lead by 33 points at this stage, but I think the game's been a bit better than the scoreboard suggests, Heidi.
Yeah, second quarter definitely was far more competitive.
So Tashara Davin brings the ball back in for Wanderers towards the outer side. Morgan Johnson picks up there. Hand pass inside to Selena Lloyd, back to Johnston, who recovers and chips out wide. Finds a teammate there in Chantel Beavy. Beavy kicks out towards the wing. Front there is Deanna Peckham. Wheels a bit round, gets the hand pass across, but doesn't hit the target and goes to ground. And Districts with some numbers out there at first to the ball. The ball's on the ground. It's kicked off the ground. No one getting any clear advantage out of that.
Talia Holtz gets a nice handball out. And Nankervis has got a kick in. Morgan almost takes that one. Looks like she's playing as a defensive role now, so she was playing in the forward line in the second quarter, and then she just crept into that defensive line as she normally does.
Trying to get her to where the ball might be, I think.
That's right, yeah, that was her mindset.
And, comes out here, and it's Letitia Lloyd again, I think, who drives it back across, but Ebony Miller chops that off.
Read the flight really well. Yep. Plays on quickly, looking for Grace Mulvihill again. Another link up. Working really well together, those two.
Ball on the ground now after the tackle, and Letitia Lloyd kicks out of defence for Wanderers. Sophia Malboy now with the run of the ball. Picks up and runs past player. Drives into half forward, but chopped off across half back again by Districts. Kick comes out here looking for Miller. He kicks it in front of herself towards half back, picks up under not much pressure, but she's tackled as she kicks there pretty heavily, but fortunately found a teammate, and Districts come forward again, but it's chopped off there by Buffy Angel for
similar to the first quarter here, just kicking to opponents, making it a bit easy for turnovers. So we need to just lower the eyes, settle down, a bit of composure, and start to hit the targets. So Wanderers have a free kick here.
A little bit of heat in the game there, but umpires sorted it out with a free kick to Lucy Motlock.
Yeah, a bit of feeling after that hit on Ebony Miller. Tanisha Bush came through fairly and squarely in the side.
So that's Sachi who drives the ball forward for Wanderers, and an opportunity here. It's picked up by Deanna Peckham. She wheels around, tackles, but kicks towards goal.
That's a fantastic goal, really clean.
Terrific goal. Took on the tackler and had enough strength to keep her feet and get the ball to boot and through for a goal.
Probably had no right to kick that goal, actually, with the amount of defenders that were there for Districts, but just kept her feet, was clean, got it on the boot. Good reward for effort and a good start for Wanderers.
Yeah, really encouraging there, and some good work down here along the wing by Sophia Malboy to take the ball cleanly, drive the ball in forward, and set up the opportunity. So
yeah, she's got a bit of speed actually, Malboy, when she gets going, and a bit of a sidestep through. So use that momentum to kick through the footy.
the ruck's just sorting themselves out, which is the right side to stand on.
Pick up that again. Last week, Charlie Deegan.
Deegan wins this hit out. Takes a bit of a hit herself, but back up onto her feet. And Wanderers the chance again. Quick kick by Maria Bilius comes across the ground. Foot race here. A bit of a struggle. Some good work there by Jade Jones-Capillo. It's Deegan again for Districts, who picks up and drives them forward. Ebony Miller in the action here, keeping the ball in front of her.
She's got Letitia Jeffrey here free. Probably going to be called a throw, unfortunately, but Jeffrey was there ready to run on and get it into their forward line.
But good work there by Maria Bilius. She was pressuring her all the way, and as soon as she picked up the ball, she pounced on her with a tackle and won the free kick. So she
nice kick to space.
Yeah, picks up her
Kayla Motlop.
teammate.
Hits up another target.
It's picked up there by Deegan. She gets a hand pass forward as she's tackled. Holtz in there.
Really strong work there from Talia Holtz.
Drives forward. But cross half back to Shara Devon. Couldn't take possession, but makes the tackle in the end and wins the free kick. So Wanderers coming out of defence through Devon.
To Taylor Motlop again.
Beautiful kick by Tashara Devon. Motlop plays on quickly down the wing. Bella Clark coming across there, takes possession, but under pressure, hand passes forward to grass. Morgan Johnston picks the ball up.
Wanting a stoppage here, Morgan Johnston.
Yeah, but I think
unfortunately she's not going to get it.
I think that's a pretty good call. She had the opportunity and went back and took the tackle and was caught with
just
the ball.
lacking numbers around there
no
for
support
support,
for her,
and she dragged it in and had no one to really give it to.
So Bella Clark picks the ball up in there.
Gives it to herself.
And gets a kick forward.
Just racking up the possessions there, Clark.
So cross half back there for Wanderers. They've got some numbers, leaving it for each other, but in the end,
lacking communication.
The two Bilius girls work it out, but no one to go through out there, and Letitia Jeffrey's got plenty of time and space to pick up the ball and drive Districts forward again. And the opportunity there for
Kinner
India
picks it
Kinner.
up and into her under-18 teammate, Grace Mulverhill.
And good kick forward. Hugabeen Hill on the end of that. Couldn't take it cleanly, and good defensive work there by Georgia Halkitis it is. Drives it out wide for Wanderers. But Districts look like they have the opportunity again. It's kicked out here where Deegan's on the end of it. Couldn't take it, but Jeffrey picks it up cleanly. Gets a hand pass across, but that's chopped off by Lloyd. Drives the ball out to the wing. Crawford out there for Districts picks up and kicks the ball forward, but it's Wanderers with the numbers and Bilius, but her kick goes straight to the opposition.
Well, Laurie Niven had no communication there to help out Niven. She thought she was off and got mowed down by Bush very quickly.
No awareness of the tackle coming in, but so Wanderers with the chance, but that's out wide, and it's Holtz who takes the mark, plays on straight away, but is tackled, and Wanderers the chance now.
Very impressive handball.
Forward. And player in plenty of space out the back is Ivana Shoba. She kicks around the corner, but Districts have got the numbers back now, and it's Holly Engelhart back there who brings.
That's a real shame because they had a nice bit of work on that far wing.
Some clever work there by Letitia Jeffrey to avoid her opponent and get around and kick forward. Mulverhill in battle with
Wanderers have got the numbers here.
Yeah, some
two-on-one.
Good hands there by Malboy, picked up cleanly and found her teammate in Shania Henderson, but it's Districts chance again forward here. But Wanderers doing some good work across half back to hold them up, getting some numbers back there, but couldn't work it out this time. And it's India Kinner this time underneath, gets a hand pass out, but plenty of players in there. Morgan Johnston breaks the tackles and takes it on. Exactly. Just tackled as she kicked the ball then, and Laurie Niven in there gets a high tackle. And she'll take the free kick on the centre wing. She's looking to centre the ball. Bella Clark there with some space, takes the mark, plays on now inside the centre square.
Nice kick to advantage here for Miller.
Miller takes the ball on the bounce and kicks forward again.
Almost an Alice connection there. Alice Springs, player in Ebony Miller, towards Sam Hugenbein Hill.
Halkitis chopped it off for Wanderers, but some strong work in there by Districts, but ball smothered. Malboy on the ground.
I believe that's Emma Forsyth.
Yep, she's in there again. With another kick forward. Halkitis hand passes over the top again, and Malboy now brings Wanderers out of defence towards this grandstand wing. Nicely taken there, and hand pass inside by Kiana Anderson, but teammate couldn't take it.
Deegan read it better there.
Busy as usual. And it's Talia Holtz who gets the kick forward for Districts. Nice clean hands in there by Holly Engelhart, but tried to evade the tackle and was caught holding the ball. So Buffy Angel for Wanderers, no one on the mark. She kicks down this wing.
They're up for a fight here, Wanderers. They're willing to compete. I'm interested to see how long they can sustain this sort of pressure for. Districts are going to wear them down, no doubt. And Bella Clark's free here in the middle of the ground. She's trying to slow things down, which I think is really smart, and hit up a target.
She chips the ball back inside the corridor where Miller, with some strength, takes possession and drives Districts forward again. But again, Wanderers across half back. And it's Malboy this time who takes the intercept mark, telling the players to slow down. Probably a good idea. Can't get too frenetic and
save a bit of energy targets as well. Reset.
Yep.
Allow players to get to positions.
She hits up Deanna Peckham here, and she kicks down the wing, and a good overhead mark taken by Ivana Schober for Wanderers. So she drives the ball further down the wing. And, coming in strongly there is Disachi. Kicks off the ground now, but numbers with Districts, and Miller picks it up and drives the ball forward again. Chopped off by Halkitis again back there. Kicks the ball out wide, looking for Johnston, who takes a strong overhead mark. And she's looking back inside the corridor where she's got a couple of players. Letitia Lloyd takes the mark, plays on, but her kick's smothered. She's still in the action though, still fighting for the ball. It comes out here this time.
Really clean
Peter Azzori picks it up beautifully. Oh, some good strong work in there by Vivi. Tapped the ball forward, and Azzori again working hard for Wanderers inside. And they've got a free kick here for the umpire behind the plays, given it for holding without possession. So Anderson for Wanderers chips into centre half forward. Mark almost taken there, but hand pass comes out now to Hariwa. She kicks out wide, half forward, looking
see
for
what Tadisha Bush can do here.
Taps the ball ahead.
Bella Clark hot in the tail.
It's pretty clever work by Bush there to keep possession, but unfortunately her kick's gone out on the full, and it'll be Southern District's free kick.
And that's just that want and desire as well from the District's players, just putting pressure on and ensuring that they're going to make a mistake.
So Carly Ann Thielen with the free kick in the back pocket. She kicks down that outer side and finds a target there in Brooke Hayne.
Been very impressive, Brooke Hayne, playing up in Women's Premier League.
It's down towards the wing. Teammate did well to get the ball back into play and drive down towards the right in front of the scoreboard on the outer side. Good tackle. Chip kick comes across. It's chopped off there in defence by Azzori again for Wanderers. But it's Districts through Farah who hand passes across. Some strong work. The ball drives forward. But Halkitis has been pretty strong in defence for Wanderers this quarter and takes another mark. Switches the ball across to half back here, and some space here for Davin, but she goes back the other way.
Likes to go towards Morgan Johnson, which pays off in the end. So Morgs is going to go for a bit of a run here and take the game on.
Yeah, played on with a bounce and a hand pass, and gets the hand pass back and drives the ball forward. The ball's mark spilt there, but now it comes out, and Districts have the chance to pick up and go forward again. Cutting across in defence for Wanderers.
If they come over here towards the fat side, the space they've got, and a couple of free players as well, they go back to density, and it's probably not going to pay off because Districts have got the numbers.
Strong tackling there on the Districts player, but it's Morgan Johnston who picks the ball up. She's tackled, gets a hand pass out. Story's kick was smothered, and Holtz drives Districts forward. Alkitis is first there, but she's tackled as soon as she picks up the ball. Umpire says that tackle was high, and she'll take the free kick.
Each time Sam Hugen Van Hel has been in front of her direct opponent, they just keep going over the top, and she keeps chopping it off. So, good positioning from the Wanderers defender there.
Another free kick for Wanderers, this time to Hua Huriwa, out on the wing on the outer side. She drives the ball further, hugging the boundary line out there, and Talia Holtz too strong in the end. Takes a bounce and drives them forward. Off the ground here, Emma Forsyth, but it's a pretty short quarter in the end. In fact, I think we only had the one goal for the quarter to Wanderers, so that's probably why. But so Wanderers win the quarter, and still in the contest, and they've stuck to their work pretty well, I think.
Yeah, they should be really pleased with their efforts there in that third quarter. Now it's about sustaining that sort of pressure and that sort of intensity in the fourth. They're going to be pretty tired. It's a hot and humid day like we spoke about, so we'll just see whether they've got enough energy left in their tank. Yeah, but some pretty encouraging signs. So at three-quarter time at Southern District, 6-5-41, leading Wanderers 2-2-14.
So here's everything you need to know about the Great Air Race in 30 seconds or less. 100 years ago, there was a race from London to Darwin by aeroplane. And mates, this was only 20 years after the first aeroplane flew just 37 metres. The winning plane, a Vickers Vimy, was flown by Australian brothers Ross and Keith Smith and their mechanics Wally Shires and Jim Bennett. This was the birth of international air travel, and they landed in Perak. There's a park there now. Some people reckon their flight was almost as significant as the Apollo missions 50 years later. Some of the places they landed had never even seen an aeroplane before. This year, a guy called Michael Smith, who isn't related to the other Smiths, is retracing the exact flight 100 years on. The Great Air Race. What a great territory story. Yeah, I know, it was longer than 30 seconds. There's just too much to fit in.
We're here for when the heavens open and the winds howl. We're here for when the water just won't stop. We're here for the wet and we're here for the dry. We're here because we know there's nowhere else you'd rather be.
And there's nowhere else we'd rather be either. TIO Home Insurance. We're for Territorians.
So we can feel, really feel, together, real, together. No one can stop. No one can stop. Nothing could ever bring me down.
Mother Nature can be frighteningly predictable in the Territory this time of year. Heavy rains and damaging winds can cause significant problems and disruption, particularly if you're unprepared, while downed power lines and flash flooding can be lethal. To ensure you're ready, visit powerwater.com.au/safety or text SAFETY to 0428 323 991 for more information. Because staying safe and ready around Mother Nature should be second nature.
CFS Schoolwear is the perfect choice for quality custom-made school uniforms. Ideal clothing for all school-related activities, whether it's 50 or 500 students, we have what you need. Contact the Cricket and Football Shop NT for your free CFS Schoolwear quote today.
Let's see. Roma, Verona?
Perhaps Barcelona.
Make your dream holiday a reality. Book your next getaway at Flight Centre with interest-free holidays and flexible repayment options.
Best in the air.
And everywhere.
Flight Centre.
Intersport, new concept store now open in Casuarina Square. Come in and check out a world-class shopping experience.
Dedicated sports zones.
Now stocking only the biggest brands in tennis, cricket, fitness from treadmills to benches, boxing, swimming, darts, pool and table tennis. For awesome service and advice, still locally owned and operated, the all-new Intersport Concept Store. Now open at Casuarina Square.
You are one of almost 140,000 people living in an area at risk of being affected by a cyclone this wet season. In your cyclone kit, you will need a battery-operated radio and torch with spare batteries, enough food and at least 10 litres of water per person to sustain you and your family for 72 hours or more. Remember, all important documentation such as passports, photos and insurance policies should be kept in a safe and waterproof place. Be prepared this wet season. Brought to you by TIO.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium. It's three-quarter time here, about to start the final quarter in this round 10 TIO NTFL Women's Premier League match between Southern Districts Crocodiles and Wanderers Eagles. So coming into the game, both teams were on 5 wins, but we explained that Southern Districts had some administrative issues that cost them a couple of games, and on form it looked like Districts probably be too strong coming in, but Wanderers have fought pretty well and won the third quarter, and look forward to another contest in this final quarter.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Dave said to them at half-time, but it certainly worked. So whatever he said, hopefully did a bit of a repeat at three-quarter time, and they'll come out firing with heaps of energy and plenty of run. So we're underway now, and taps one this time on one of the rare occasions by Ivana Schober, but Deegan, the ruckman for Districts, is first back onto it and picks up and kicks forward to Shara Davin there for Wanderers. Takes possession and wheels around, kicks back towards the corridor, but ball hits the ground and out the back again. A quick kick in the air, not much distance there, and it's Miller who comes through strongly for Districts. Thumps the ball forward towards the top of the goal square. Ball's on the ground now. That's Mulvihill, I think, is it? It picks up, hand passes across, and her teammate there, Emma Forsyth, thought she had a bit more space than she actually did and got caught with the ball. So some good defensive work by Wanderers, and it's Morgan Johnston, the captain for Wanderers, who drives them out wide. A good kick, hips up her teammate out there. Yeah, quick play's really on here.
Yeah.
If Wanderers can get it moving. Got a couple of free players, but slow play pans out.
Hit a couple of targets. Ball's on the ground now, and Districts tidy up. Deegan out there, hand passes forward. And
more structure around the ground though now, Stu.
Yeah.
In the first quarter it was very congested, everyone fighting for the ball.
So Lloyd for Wanderers out there gets the hand pass as she's tackled, but it's Hugavine Hill for Districts who drives the ball down the wing, and it's marked by her Alice Springs counterpart in Miller. Her kick goes over the top of her teammate there, but some good work, and Districts come inside 50 again. Johnston was the first one there, couldn't take it cleanly, but she's back in there again now. Again, couldn't pick it up.
She might have a third go here, Stu. She
over
has.
The top by Forsyth, but
into her mate Sophia Malboy, and straight down the middle of the ground.
Numbers here with Districts, and Deegan drives them back forward, and it's
Stacey Karkeek getting a nice possession and looking to go inside 50.
And hits the target inside 50, and that's Mallory Nankervis who takes the mark. She's looks pretty confident about this, but I'm not sure she'll get the journey here. Goes into
Lovely
the goal
technique,
square.
really nice kicking technique, but just a little bit short.
Yep. So Alkitis back there picks up handballs forward, but Jeffrey, I think, kicked it in, but it's all Wanderers back there. Davin gets a hand pass forward as she's tackled. The ball's on the ground, spills out now.
Just need some support here from Wanderers. Lots of district numbers running through. Bella Clark fumbles, but they've still got numbers out the back with Emma Forsyth.
Kick goes out wide.
Holtz has had a great start to the fourth quarter. She's been really lively, lots of run in her legs, bit of speed off the mark.
Well, a dangerous kick across half forward or half back here by Wanderers, and districts don't take advantage. They've got numbers around there now. Players fall on top of the ball, and umpire wants it to keep going. Comes out eventually. Hack kick by Malboy, and it's chopped off there by Clark. Mark's not paid as the ball spills to ground.
Just got bumped right at the last minute there, Bella Clark.
Still working hard in there. She's still around where the ball is, but nothing clean coming out of there at the moment. And breaking the tackle there was Nankervis and drove the ball in towards goal, but offline across the face. And the first score of the final quarter was a
really
behind.
solid game.
Yeah.
Mallory Nankervis. Impressive last week as well, but really finding her feet in this match.
Yep. So Johnston kicking in this time. Kicks it out to the outer half-back flank. Tisha Lloyd's in front out there. Kept the ball in front of her for 20 metres or so, but it's districts again who pick up and drive it back in. Holtz out there gets a hand pass across, and kick comes in. Johnston's first there for Wanderers. It comes off her hand and out of bounds in the right forward pocket for Southern Districts. So Talia Holtz obviously playing forward. She's been in defence for the first three quarters, I believe. But,
they've made a bit of a move there and put her in the forward line, and she's had a couple of runs down the far wing and gave off a nice handball there in that play.
So boundary throw goes over the head of the rucks, and it's Bilius who picks it up and drives Wanderers out of defence. Taken there by Matsuri. The kick goes out to the square there, and a chance here for Wanderers. Some strong work and a long kick forward. On the end of that is Desace.
Really exciting play here. Takes a bounce.
Takes a bounce into the open goal from about 20 out and thumps that through.
That is a cracking goal.
Terrific play there. So
and that was just helped through that passage through the midfield, not throwing it on the boot quickly, and just getting a bit of run and carry to create a one-on-one.
And then some strength in the contest, won the ball over the back, and just some positive energy, ran with the ball, bounced and backed herself and kicked truly for goal. So
really exciting passage of play for Wanderers. So hopefully they can build on that, create a bit of momentum and try and get back in the game.
So 6 minutes into the last quarter, and in fact Wanderers have kicked the only 2 goals of the second half so far. So some really encouraging signs for them.
Bit of a premium midfield now with Charlie Deegan, Talia Holtz, Bella Clark and Ebony Miller for districts. So they've gone pretty strong. Some really good ball winners in there. See how Wanderers fare.
So I think Deegan's been in the ruck all day, hasn't she, Heidi?
Yeah, that's correct. I'd love to see her play as a tall forward or even as a key defender, just to branch out a bit and increase her versatility.
So it's a free kick to Wanderers in the middle here. She keeps the ball inside the corridor. Farah there for districts, but it's snatched off her by Buffy Angel. She was tackled after she took the ball though, and Miller on the ground gets a good hand pass out to Hugavine Hill.
Some good numbers there for Wanderers. Out the back if they can get it there.
It's area hand pass across, and now it comes out here. Oh, ball wasn't taken cleanly, unfortunately. Holtz is in there again for districts. off the ground now, and Davin's there for Wanderers. Almost hand past it, but play on's the call, and a high tackle here on the District's player in Dershow, and she'll take the free kick between centre and wing on the grandstand side. She kicks back inside the corridor, finds Deegan there, who marks and plays on straight away, drives the ball forward. It's Alkitis who's first to it there for Wanderers. Ball's underneath her on the ground now, but it spills out wide, and Nankervis again picks up, kicks towards goal. Oh, Johnston kept it in play. Don't know if that was the smartest idea, because she was outnumbered by 3 Southern Districts players down there, and Letitia Jeffrey got on the end of it. And
looks like it might have been a point. Was it
a free kick?
I'm not sure.
Morgan Johnston's got the ball in her hand. It's no score, and play goes on. Her pass finds Davin, who spilt the mark but put it up. Hand pass back to Johnston. Drives the ball out of
Just
the
numbers again. Districts.
Chopped off there by Maley Clark. 4 Districts. Kicks the ball forward now, inside 50. Wanderers have the numbers back there now. Maria Billius at the
Great
bottom
smother,
of it.
and then tackling pressure there from Grace Mulverhill to lock it away for a stoppage in the forward 50.
So we're about 20 metres out from the Southern District's goal with this ball up. And Deegan over the top, but it's Billius who's tackled there, gets a hand pass forward. Clark gets a quick kick, but that's smothered. Deegan in there picks up and kicks Districts forward again. But ball bounces over the back. Nankervis is tackled as she tried to kick, and she's called holding the ball there, and it's Amy Narkle who will take that free kick. Kicks across to the back pocket here, and finds her captain Morgan Johnston. Drives the ball down towards half back. Chipping in there is Bella Clark. Kicks the ball, drives the ball back in again, but marked again in defence by Wanderers, and the kick comes out to the nearer side, but Districts have all the numbers there. Bounces off a couple of hands, and a quick kick forward. Sees the ball in the centre of the ground, where Shania Henderson for Wanderers does some good work, but it's Districts who win the ball back. Quick kick out there. And
Letitia Jeffrey in a really good position.
Yeah, she's got some space now.
Just read that play beautifully.
Look for Mulverhill forward, Nankervis forward, but went over her head, and she gave away the free kick, trying to win the ball back. But, another turnover there, and it's Holly Engelhart who marks for Districts on the outer half forward flank. Looking for a captaining Jeffrey, picks up, spins around, drives the ball forward again. But picked up nicely back there by Georgia Billius. She comes back inside looking for Maria Billius, couldn't take possession, but Bella Clark for Districts was clean with the ball, kicked it forward. Now Davin for Wanderers with a bit of dash out of half back, drives the ball out to the wing. But, Districts with numbers out there.
Yeah, Tashara Davin just taking the game on there, which was really the only option. She didn't really have anyone to kick to.
But, bit of ping pong here, and the ball comes back in by Hergeveen Hill, and it's a good kick forward, and finds her teammate in Grace Mulverhill. She chips across looking for Miller and finds her in a better position. The angle's a lot better, and
yeah, it might be spot on for distance here as well.
Yep, she's going back
Should
pretty
have the
confidently.
distance.
So some good build-up work there. No, she's
going
looking
for the
to
short
pass
option.
off, and she finds Letitia Jeffrey there straight out in front of goal. So some good work, some good build-up work there by Districts. Use the ball well.
Just their pressure in the forward 50.
And the result is a set shot at goal from about 25 out directly in front for Letitia Jeffrey. Kicks on the way now, and that's squeezed out to the right-hand side for a minor score. So District's still without a goal in this second half, but doing plenty of attacking.
Yeah, they've really got a fair run of the play here.
Morgan Johnson again for Wanderers. Kicks out wide through the hands of her teammate out there. Back fighting for the ball on the ground, and it's carried over the boundary line. And we'll have a throw in on the outer half-forward flank for Southern Districts.
I get the feeling that Districts are wanting a goal. They're certainly wanting a goal, and they're putting a fair bit of pressure in their forward 50.
Yes, I think they'd be aware that they haven't scored a goal in the second half so far.
I dare say they would have been made aware of that, at three-quarter time.
So it's Miller in there doing some strong work, drives the ball forward, but Johnston for Wanderers reads it best and takes the mark over the back, plays on now with a bounce out of full-back.
Someone's going to have to go
Dodges
towards
around
her
the tackle,
here.
but she's tackled there. Some terrific
I'd like to
defensive
see Grace
work.
Mulvihill push back off the mark here and have a go at goals. She's a very unselfish player, and hopefully her teammates are telling her to do that as well.
Well, she was terrific defensive work there, kept her feet, kept her awareness about her, and tackled Morgan Johnson as she tried to duck around her, but she's having the shot. It's going in, it's not going to reach, but some strong hands in there, not quite marked. Hack off the ground, and it's Maria Bilius there, but it goes past her, picked up by Miller. Hand passes out the back, but no clean possession taken. Deegan in there picks up, hand passes to Miller, who spills it, and the ball goes to
Tired bodies
ground.
out there now.
I think so.
Very tired, getting down for a ground ball and picking up cleanly. A few simple skill errors.
So there's a whistle on the play here, a holding free kick. And it looks like it's Maylee Clark there who's won the free kick for Districts.
Not a lot of movement.
So she'll kick towards the goal square now. Comes into the top of the square. In front, good strong mark taken there by Johnston.
Out towards Letitia Lloyd.
Goes over the head there. Bella Clark's in there for Districts, and Sophia Malboy for Wanderers. She picks up the good hand pass to her teammate Lloyd, and another kick by Schober comes out towards the boundary line, but Bella Clark in there again, picks up and finds a teammate, Talia Holtz, inboard, and she kicks towards centre half forward now. Ball's contested there, comes to ground and driven away by Kayla Motlop. Oh, two Districts players collide, and the ball falls in the hands of
smart,
Vivi.
clever handball
Good
over the
hand
top
pass
there.
over the top. And Buffy Angel drives the ball forward, but her teammate there in Kasachi was caught with the ball, and Districts work it out.
Might be in a little bit of strife here. Miller's got a fair bit of greenery in front of her.
Yeah, she did some clever work to get the ball out over the top, but Johnston again in defence for Wanderers, getting plenty of the ball. Gets a hand pass out here, but that's the end of the game, and so yeah, another goal to Wanderers in the final quarter and none to Districts. So they fought the game out pretty strongly. Districts had all the territory, I think, for most of the last quarter, but couldn't get a goal on the board, but still ran out winners, but a pretty entertaining game in the end, Heidi.
Yeah, second half was certainly, second quarter all the way through was more entertaining than that first quarter, where they were just finding their feet and getting settled. But I'm not sure Tarman would be totally happy with that effort from Southern Districts. That second half there, with the amount of pressure they had in their forward line, probably needed to convert a little bit more. So I'm sure they'll be working at that at training. But well done to the Wanderers girls. I thought they really stuck it to them and worked hard all day and didn't give up. Were pretty relentless with their approach.
Yeah.
And hopefully next week they can roll on with some more momentum leading into the next round.
Yep, so a pretty good game in the end, and Wanderers fought it out all the way to the end. So on the TIO Stadium scoreboard, it shows that Southern Districts have won the game by 23 points in the end. So thanks for your company. Hopefully we'll be back on board again next week.
Thanks.
So here's everything you need to know about the Great Air Race in 30 seconds or less. 100 years ago, there was a race from London to Darwin by aeroplane. And mates, this was only 20 years after the first aeroplane flew just 37 metres. The winning plane, a Vickers Vimy, was flown by Australian brothers Ross and Keith Smith and their mechanics Wally Shires and Jim Bennett. This was the birth of international air travel, and they landed in Parap. There's a park there now. Some people reckon their flight was almost as significant as the Apollo missions 50 years later. Some of the places they landed had never even seen an aeroplane before. This year, a guy called Michael Smith, who isn't related to the other Smiths, is retracing the exact flight 100 years on. The Great Air Race. What a great territory story. Yeah, I know, it was longer than 30 seconds. There's just too much to fit in.
We're here for when the heavens open and the winds howl. We're here for when the water just won't stop. We're here